So here we go. Welcome back to the Kings of Anglia Track the Girls Talk podcast. I'm your host, as ever, Ross, and we are now proudly sponsored by John Fowler's Solicitors. I'm gonna have moments where I'm not going to say that properly, so I'm very sorry. As you know, I have a bit of a mare sometimes when I talk about things, but I'm joined, as ever, by my co-host and Town Women skipper, Blue Wilson. We're back, Blue. I've missed you. I missed just having these chats. How you been doing? How's your summer been going? And of course, pre-season is now in full swing.
I know, I've missed that intro, Ross. I have missed that intro. I saw on Twitter little outtakes of you at the game at Wimbledon, and that did make me laugh. But yeah, no, I've been good. Had a nice break. Managed to get away out of the country, which was nice, with a few of the girls from the team, and then cracking on with rehab. So yeah, it's been nice. It's very, very hot today when we're recording. Not sure when this will come out, but yeah, all good. In a good space at the minute. How about you?
I'm hot. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I had to say it because it is hot right now in Suffolk and in UK in general. But no, it's good that we can sit down, have a chat about Ipswich Town Women for the first time this season. Blue, I want to quickly talk about your holiday with the girls. A lot of you went. How was it as a whole? I'm sure a few drunk nights and stuff like that. I'm sure some nice food was consumed. But as a whole, it must have been a great team bonding exercise as well.
Yeah, we'll call it a team bonder. There was quite a few of us. There was, I think, probably 10 of us at one point, all out there. So yeah, it was nice to sort of get to, because obviously you see each other a lot during the season, but never really in sort of a relaxed setting. Like we'll go out for food and stuff, but not really for that amount of time. So it was really nice to sort of get away and have a proper break before getting ready for the season, and then obviously the season kicking off soon. So yeah, good fun, lots of memories. But yeah, really pleased I went. Actually, we had a good time.
Yeah, those holidays are sometimes just memories you'll always remember, just for silly things you do and stuff like that. Yeah. And I think, you just love that. And, you girls are very similar ages as well. So just to go and enjoy yourself, have a time to relax after a long season. I'm sure you all had a great time. And Blue, you mentioned your rehab. We've always got to mention it at the start of the episode and start of the podcast. Pre-season is in full swing. I've been able to capture you running and doing different things. How has it been so far?
Yeah, it's going really well. I'm at the minute, I've been given the go ahead to kick a ball, but very early stages. So I'm still in the gym, lifting quite a bit. Still lots of rehab exercises to do, which will probably continue for the foreseeable future, probably my football career, to be fair, just to prevent similar things happening again. But yeah, I'm running, change direction. Still, I don't want to people to get excited. I'm not getting excited because I've still got a good few months to go. But it's coming towards the end, which is quite rewarding. And it's nice to be able to go out on the grass and see pictures of me running on the grass. So yeah.
That was an amazing moment for me, just to see you run for the first time. I think I missed one training session where you may have already been out on the grass and doing things, but for me to turn up and be able to get some pictures, it was great, Blue. And even just Pesk as well. Pesk is doing really well as well. So Pesk, so it's just good to see both of you training together as well, and supporting each other as much as you've been doing throughout last season, pretty much. Well, Blue, I want to quickly mention our sponsors once again, John Fowler's Solicitors. Of course, Michael Kennedy has been a great support for us to sponsor the podcast for the season. Of course, he's been travelling with us as a team last year to Newcastle, to different other games, and also travelled us against AFC Wimbledon. And of course, the doubleheader at Plough Lane on Saturday, our first pre-season game of the summer. Let's talk about it then, Blue. A 2-0 win. The men played beforehand. Let's talk about the journey, the first journey of the season. It wasn't too far away, but it's nice to get the first game and the first 90 minutes for some of the players.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice one because it's not too far, but also not too close. If you're, as a player, I find if I'm going on a away trip, I kind of want it to be longer than an hour. It's weird, but you can sort of settle in the bus. And yeah, it was a great day. It was good to watch the men. Sammy Morsey scored 2 great goals, so that was good to see. And then obviously we played, and yeah, it's the first game of pre-season, so it's always going to be a bit scrappy and things to change, things to improve, but also things to take forward and say, yeah, we need more of this. So lots of positives, but also stuff to work on. And also I think minutes in the bank, but a lot of young players as well, Ross.
There was we've did a video, of course, for my game day feature on the course the men's team, and then I did the women's team because it was a nice, lovely double header.
Busy day for you, Ross.
Very busy day. I was sweating, but I had a hot dog, drank a lot of water, which I'm hoping every listener out there, I'm sure you're drinking a lot of water in this heat. Blue, hopefully you're keeping hydrated yourself.
Of course.
But we're going to talk about the game as a whole, but let's talk about the young players first, because you've mentioned it. 5 young players, sort of their first taste of senior action. The players are midfielder Nia Evans, who came on as a second half substitution. She's 18. She joined the Foundation Post-16 program from Nina Market. So for her to transition across to the academy and then to play first team football is fantastic. Then you've got Lauren Hales, who's 16, Abby Smith, who's 17. Then you've got Sarah Smith-Walter, who I've seen and you've seen about, in terms of the under-21s, and she's been around the first team in terms of training, and she goes to a lot of the home games as well. I've seen that a few of the times at Dalwood, aka AGL Arena, which is the new name for the old name, of course, was the Gold Star Ground. Then we've also got Megan Waring, who's been training a lot with the first team this summer, who is a tall and versatile defender, I've been told. She came on to replace Mira Boswell. I think that's all the players. Have I missed anybody? And of course, Abby Jackson. No, she's already part of it, weren't she?
She just played alongside them in the second half.
Yes.
But yeah, no, they slotted in well. I mean, you've got sort of 2 or 3 midfielders in there, which I think for a youngster to come into your first game in midfield is quite daunting. I found especially, but I think pre-season gives them a platform where there's little pressure really. If they perform, Joe looks at them and thinks, yeah, you know what, carry on training with us. Maybe you get a chance this season. But then if they make a mistake, it's pre-season, so there's no consequences of that. But yeah, I thought Megan in particular looked sharp at the back. So yeah, some exciting prospects, I think.
Definitely, and it's a big thing as well for their first game in front of a crowd in the stadium. Of course, lovely pitch at Plough Lane, a really good setup there. But for a young player to get I know it's only pre-season, but to come in, but I was impressed by all of them. They did really, really well. So it's good to see once again. We're known. Ipswich Town Women are known. That vision we have of young players getting a chance, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of those more throughout. And of course, for the under-21s team as well, I'm sure we're going to be able to watch those games a bit more this season because of now the restrictions, going away a little bit. But let's talk about the game then, Blue. It is the first preseason game of the summer. It's all about just getting a bit of fitness in you, a few little minutes, getting back to playing football again. As for women, of course, the team below us, we played them in the FA Cup last year at Plough Lane as well in the FA Cup. What do you think of the game as a whole? We saw 2 goals. There's many chances, some set pieces being made. What do you reckon?
I think first half very transitional, but I kind of expected that. I know they've definitely played 1 game before us, or maybe 2. So it wasn't their first preseason game, but I expected it to be a bit scrappy. I expected not to see beautiful football in the first half in particular. But I know there's some good patterns played. Again, like I mentioned, a few things to work on, but I think we're aware of what they are, and I think Joe's got a plan in place to see us improve those areas before the season starts, and we've got time. So yeah, it's never going to be perfect, but all in all, it's a win. And I think the most important thing is, like you mentioned, that those minutes in the legs, because there's nothing that compares to match fitness, I don't think.
And I said in our video on game day, if you haven't watched it, watch it and have a little plug there. Cheeky plug as always. I like to see our strikers score goals. So it's good to see Maddie Biggs off the bench. Of course, Zoe Barrett scored the first goal in the first half as well. It's just good to see him. Of course, Maddie Biggs, a really good finish from Biggsy. And I loved what the picture I got of her. I said this on the main Kings of Anglia podcast, but I've got to plug it on here as well, where she's just rocked up in her Waitrose uniform, put the Ipswich Town shirt on, came off the bench, and of course scoring a goal. So finishing your shift at 2. And scoring at the stadium at 6 p.m, which is just fantastic. And of course, we saw the kit for the first time. A lot of players wearing it for the first time. Blue, yourself, Peskett, and Laffy wore it for the photo shoot. Mm-hmm. But great to see once again. That's what I like about preseason as well. Seeing the shirts in the flesh for the very first time, and all the players. They looked all right, didn't they?
The kit is so nice. So nice. I really like it. Really like it. I was sitting with Peskett the whole game, And we were just commenting on every now and then. One of us would just say, "Oh, the kit looks so good. We can't wait to wear it." But yeah, nice little first outing of the kit. It'd be good to get the away kit as well. But the warm-up shirts as well. Oh my, they are unbelievable. They are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Big fan of them.
Because that's what you wear the most as well. Of course, you wear the home kit and the away kit for match days, but you'll be wearing that in training. You'll be wearing it, when you travel. And I know there's other multiple training. There's loads of kits now. I think there's a travel kit. There's like a warm up kit. Then there's just a lounging kit. There's loads of just training kit you can wear, but that's what you will wear most often. So you want to make it look good. And of course, Umbro is our new supplier, and I think Umbro have done a fantastic job. I want to quickly mention the picture I took at the game of I think it was just before the men's game. It was yourself, Tash, Kyra, Anna, and Bonnie all lined up. And of course, Bonnie drinking a normal Red Bull. That's our pre-match ritual. And of course, we've got to plug Michael Kennedy once again because he was able to purchase a Red Bull. And of course, proudly sponsoring our podcast once again. John Fowler Solicitors. We are proud for them to be sponsoring us. And just what was that like though? Just being there and just chilling, watching the men's game is always good. It was a long wait for our game, but just as it was good though.
It was a long way, but it was nice to. It felt. I've said this before, but it felt very much like a one club vibe. So as we walked down from watching the men's team, towards the end of the second half, all the fans started clapping us as we walked past. So it was quite a nice feel to it. And big thanks to the fans that did stay for the whole thing because that's a lot of football. That's a lot of football to watch and sit there, and it was hot. So fair play to them. But yeah, it's nice to play in that stadium as well. I don't think I've never played after a men's game straight after, so that was quite a good experience. I know we'll speak about the fixtures later, but looks like there's going to be a double header again, which should be good.
Yeah, which is great. And I want to just give a shout out to Felixstowe Travel, Mick Dabbs' son Lee, for just basically able to get that coach into that car park because that's a tight squeeze. If you've ever been to Wimbledon, Plough Lane, it's just round loads of, basically apartment blocks and different things. So for somehow he gets it through. So big shout out to them as well. You mentioned fixtures. So let's just jump right into it then, Blue. Let's talk about the fixtures that came out on Monday. 12 p.m. We were waiting for it for a while. And we now know we know our schedule for the season pretty much. Of course, cup games will be chucked in there. I'm sure there'll be different rearrangements for different things. Yeah. We start the season off with Pompey. Now, we finished with Pompey away last season. We're at home this campaign. For me, Blue, I like to start the season at home. I think it's just nice. But what do you think? Portsmouth at home to kick off the new season.
Tough game to start the season, I think. As whoever saw the last game of the season against them where we lost, sadly, it'll be tough because they're a good team. Definitely sort of will be wanting to challenge for the league this season. But I think it really massively helps that we're at home. And it's nice to see that the last fixture is also at home. So we're starting at home and finishing at home, which I love. But yeah, that'll be tough. And then we've got a few away games after that. So it's almost like we start at home and then we've got 3 away games, bit of a cup break, and then we're back at home. So yeah, lots of travel in August and September, Ross.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As you know, I will be doing a lot of travelling. I get around.
Lots of miles.
Lots of miles. Now, Blue, before we get into more of the fixtures, I actually just want to ask, as a player, what do you care much about fixtures? Of course, at the end of the day, we're going to play each team's twice, home and away. But as a player, do you look forward to when the fixtures get released? And, what do you reckon?
I mean, for me personally, it might be different for other players, but it's not hugely important. You're going to have to play every team twice. Once at home, once away. You kind of look at the first and last game. That's what I normally look at anyway. But I think it's important just to have that one game focus. Like we need to focus on that one game, and then after that, we then switch to the next game instead of looking the whole season and spreading that focus. I think it's important just to focus one game by one game and see how we get on. But yeah, it might be different for other players. I know me and Pescott were having a chat on Sunday, and we were chatting about, what do you think will be our return game? And I'm not going to give any spoilers. But I was like, Pescott, I'm not doing it. I'm not putting myself down on one game and saying, yeah, I need to be back by that date, because you have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. I'd love to be back for a home game. We both said that we'd love it to fall that way. But I don't really think I have that control. I think that's more my physio's decision. But we'll see. I'll do my best.
Yeah, I'm sure you will do. I'm sure you have goals. You set goals for certain dates when you're back, but sometimes you just don't want to. You just don't want to do that. Just you return when you turn, and I'm sure loads of Town fans will be excited when they see your name on the team sheet, on the starting 11, or on the subs bench, whatever it will be. Now, Blue, we won't rattle out all the fixtures. I know it's not as many as, say, men's football or the men's Ipswich Town team. They've got 46 games to play, but there's still a lot of games we've got to cover. So we won't cover all of them. I'm sure everyone else has seen them online. But let's talk about the first 5 games. So as I said, we've got Pompey at home. Then, as you said, 3 away games. Gillingham away. Then we've got Billericay away, of course, a new team in our division, a team we know of very much so, of course, from Tier 4. They got promoted last year. Then we got Watford away, of course, got relegated from the Championship, so another new team for us to face.
Yeah.
And then we've got Bridgewater at home. And then, they're the 5. I was just going to mention Plymouth. We'll get to that in a minute. But that's the first 5 games. What do you reckon, Blue?
Tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. It's going to be tough. I think the fact that they're away and we've got Billericay, who we've had history with before. But again, we're going to have to play all these teams twice, so it doesn't matter what order they come in. We'll be prepared. I think preseason going really well so far. The girls are working really hard, so we'll be ready for that first game. But yeah, I think it's more of the away games gets me. But what are your thoughts?
I think, it's tough, but, I think it's a clean canvas for me this season. There's different teams like Billericay. That's going to be interesting. That's midweek. Both the Billericay games are in midweek on Wednesday, 7:45 kickoff. Watford, we don't know much about them at the moment. I'm sure Joe and Charlie and yourselves as players, I'm sure you will do your research and you'll get shown different things. But I'm looking forward to seeing how we're going to do against Watford, because we have played Watford before in pre-season games and stuff like that. I think we lost once, didn't we? I won't talk about that again. Sorry, everybody. But that was before different. I think we were Tier 4 and they were a Championship side at the time. Yeah. Bridgewater at home, it's good to just make a return to the stadium, at home stadium, because after 3 away trips, you do want to now have that home comforts again. In between that, there is a Fornal Cup determining round. So basically, it's the League Cup. You get basically put in the plate, and then the League Cup, I don't know how it really works. Something like that. It works like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, of course. Last year we got to the second round, or the League Cup, and then we got beaten by who. So we were knocked out early doors. But I think it's a competition. That would be great to get as far as we can. It's nice to get a trophy in our cabinet if possible. Sometimes you can say it can be a distraction, with the FA Cup sometimes. I know the FA Cup is more important, but it's always nice to have those cup games. And it's a chance maybe for Joe to maybe play some of youngsters in that. I know he did that last year. He brought a few players in for that one. And then, Bridgewater at home. And then we round off September with the doubleheader you mentioned. Plymouth, Argyle away, back to Devon. Of course, a long trip, but we enjoyed ourselves when we went down there. It's nice, once again, that the men's team will be playing on the Saturday and we'll be playing on the Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. Good memories from the Plymouth trip, actually. I'm excited to go back. And it'll be good to watch the men's team. And hopefully we'll come home with a double win. But yeah, nice stadium, real good feel to the last Plymouth trip. So I'm positive going into that one.
Yeah, me too. And now let's talk about just some of the key teams we're going to face. Of course, Oxford, a team we need to beat, get revenge on from last season. We play them first away on the 9th of October. And then we actually play on the 2nd of April. So that is the third to last game or second last game. So that's going to be a massive game going into the end of the season. Then we've got to look at Portsmouth as well. So we start off with Portsmouth. Then we start 2023 away at Portsmouth. So it's going to be very chilly down there at Pompey. So yeah, sometimes I look out for different trips, or I don't know. Felixstowe's cold as well. Like I'm trying to think in January. We've got Gillingham, which is going to be a Sunday this time. Of course, Gillingham last year, I think it was in January time, whatever, or February time. It was midweek. So that's at home in January on the last few days of the month. Then we've got Watford at home on the 5th of Feb, and then of course let's look at the final 2 games of the season, which will be the time where we be hoping, could be, clinching promotion, winning the league title and all that sort of stuff. Won't go too ahead of ourselves, but it's always looked good there. We've got MK Dons away on the 16th of April. And then, as you said earlier, we finished the season at home to newly promoted Cheltenham Town. So we won't know much about them. We played Cheltenham Town away on the 6th of November originally, but yeah, we end the season against them. So what's your thoughts on all those fixtures I rattled out? I pretty much just said all the games we'll be playing pretty much, but there we go.
Yeah, I think it's key that we get revenge on Oxford this season. I think that's a real key one. I know their sort of striker, key player, has just moved to Southampton, transferred to Southampton. So that'll be a big loss for them. But yeah, I think that's a key pairing that we need to get revenge on. Towards the end of the season, MK Dons away. Hopefully by April they'll have a decent pitch. And then Cheltenham Town at home. Again, nice to finish at home. Cheltenham Town, not really sure what to expect from them. Don't know much about them, but I'm sure we'll learn in November what they're about. They'll be hungry, no doubt, to stay up. So it'll be a difficult last game, but yeah, excited. Cannot wait.
Yeah, of course, all these fixtures are subject to change because of, as we said, rearrangements or you never know, postponements and just anything like that. We could have loads of international call-ups. There we go.
We could.
Or we just decide to move it because we want to play earlier or another team has to change it. But there we go. There's the fixtures in blue as a whole. I think that's it for fixtures. Let's talk about pre-season as a whole, Blue, because I want to get some sort of, from a player's perspective, pre-season, I'm sure a lot of players hate it because you're coming back after, having a nice holiday, nice, relaxing. It's going to be hot. The bleep test's coming. A lot of running's coming. But I think it's nice now. Definitely in modern day football, you get the footballs out really quickly now. I think, Joe, if I can remember, the first day was a lot of gym work. But I think it was just one of those, you've got to sign a lot of forms, got to just do loads of medical stuff, which is fair enough. But on the second day, balls were out straight away. Of course, you had to do the running, you had to do the bleep test and stuff. But as a player, what do you think of pre-season?
I think going into pre-season, that the first 2 days, so the first day is normally gym testing and doing all the admin side, etc., etc. So the first day isn't normally too heavy. And then the second day, you're going to get hit by the bleep test or some form of running test. So but once that's out of the way, the relief you feel, you're like, oh, football's back. So it's getting those first sort of 2 days. And then obviously you have running involved, hitting you quite hard in the first 3-4 weeks, I'd say. But once you get in the swing of it, it's so nice to be back, and you're surrounded by everyone in the squad. It's nice to see everyone again. But yeah, I was ill, so I missed the first few days. I wouldn't have been doing the running testing anyway. But it was nice to come in and everyone we've got a real good sort of team bonding feel this season. I've definitely seen a change. We're a lot more together after sharing experiences of last season. I think probably the holiday helped as well. But we're really together as a team, which is a really nice feel. So yeah, positive going into the season, working really hard. It's nice to be able to go out and do my running next to me and Pescal run next to the session and see what's going on. There's definitely more inclusion that way. But yeah, all in all, pre-season's been really positive so far. I've seen you've got some great photos. Have you enjoyed being around it?
Yeah, it's an opportunity for me to enjoy the sunshine as well, not being stuck in an office. It's nice to be chilling in the sunshine and getting some nice pictures, nice, as you said, I feel as well, the the team spirit has been fantastic throughout pre-season as well. And of course, we've got some new staff as well joining. Everyone looking fly in the new training kit, as we mentioned. And of course, everyone else, I'm sure, did their off-season programs. And not like just everyone just chilled about and went on holiday and whatever and eat whatever you want. I'm sure everyone kept to their off-season programs. Blue, do you enjoy running? That's another question I want to ask, because I'm sure there's some players like Summer Hughes, good old Summer Hughes. She won the bleep test, and I think it was like 20 or 21 or something like that. It was, I was watching that and I was like, better you than me, players. I did it back in the day when you're a kid, in PE and stuff. But now I just go, yeah, I just watch. I feel bad when I'm taking pictures. That's when I'm like, oh, should I take pictures when they're running and they're sweating
and they're really struggling?
Yeah, really struggling. I'm sadly, a lot of players did drop like flies eventually because it was hot. And it's like the second day, and you're like thinking, oh, I can't get any more. And we did like a bit of a sweepstake of who's going to win. I picked Lucy O'Brien. I just thought she's just got that competitive aspect to it. And I think I forgot who picked Summer. I think it was Kieran actually picked Summer.
Yeah, I thought Summer's the safe choice. Summer's a favourite going into that. But I did see the little teaser because I wasn't there. I saw the little teaser Kieran put out on Twitter, and I was like, oh, you know what? Anna looks good.
Yeah.
But I would have bet on Summer or Anna. They're both clear, I think. But yeah, bleep test is never fun, but you feel so good afterwards. About 15 minutes afterwards, but afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. And do you think it helps for people who are like wingers and that sort of position where they'll be better at the bleep test because they are going to be running a lot? Maybe for defenders and maybe goalkeepers, Sarah Quantrill, she stayed in there as long as she could. She did really well. Fair play to Sarah. Bonnie as well. Bonnie's a dark horse as well. She got really far. And we were discussing that when they were getting ready for the bleep test. I thought, you know what? Bonnie could be another dark horse here. I think she'll go as long as she can because she does a lot of running herself. Of course, she's got a new job now. She's not going to be a postie. If you watch Kieran's interview with her, she's got a new job. So she's going to have more energy now, which is fantastic to see. Once again, I'm looking forward to see her in action again. But any other players you think, are just good runners overall and just, yeah?
I think it's the bleep test is a strange one because I actually believe that part of it is mental side as well. And it's very different being in a game and having the ball as like a stimulus. So if you see the ball run in front of you, I know that I'll run to that as fast as I can. But when you're just purely running and there's no ball involved, I think it's slightly different. But Summer always performs well in those tests. Always, ridiculous. I think Anna has the pairing of being super quick, like sprint wise, and also being good in that sort of test. But it's more gauging. Okay, we'll do this test now. We'll do it at the end of the season. We might do it mid-season and determining where fitness levels are, where what Nicola needs us to do more of, what certain players need to do more or less of. So it's more of a measure really, rather than what, she won the bleep test, so she's starting every game. So it's not too much of it's more of a measure rather than too crucial, I think. But all of us work ourselves up about it. All of us.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because you know it's coming, don't you? You know it's coming.
And you want to do as best you can, and because it's a maximal test, you're going to be pushed to that absolute limit. But yeah, it's just that feeling of wanting to beat everyone else, basically.
Well, there's like another thing they were doing. It's like I think there's quick sprints, basically. And there's like different distances, and like once again, I was watching that and like, we've got a lot of quick players. Like Tash, of course, is really quick. It's mentioned that earlier. Anna's quick. There's loads of different players who are just quick at just short distance. And once again, I always feel bad. It's like, oh, should I really be taking a picture here? Once again, I'm very selective of which ones I will be putting in the gallery because I know there's a few that's got pudding faces, but you can't help. You're in the zone, aren't you? You're just like running and you can't help. Maybe having your tongue out or your eyes are like, ugh. But I do feel sorry for the players of that. And one question I'm going to ask you, Blue, is about the bleep test once again. I'm sorry, this is a bleep test feature this week. Out of the staff, all the staff, you can include me and Kira that. Who do you reckon who would win it? I think
Nicola.
I know who. Yeah, definitely.
No doubt.
Yeah, easy.
Joe, I reckon Joe would give it the big one, but no way. Nicola would run circles, I think. But Ross, you run a bit.
Yeah, but
5-a-side as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bit of a dark horse, maybe.
you haven't watched me at 5-a-side. I'm knackered after 10 minutes, but I keep going. I think I'll do all right. I think I will definitely maybe outlast a few people. I think Jack could be up there. Jack does a lot of running. Jack Mitchell.
He's recently done. Was it a half marathon in Cambridge?
Half marathon, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Nicola did the because Nicola's had a player performance, isn't she? And she actually started the bleep test with the girls, and I think after time, I think she probably just went, yeah, I've got to do other stuff. So I know I've also got to find out different things as well. But I wouldn't say we're going to test it because I'm sure there's going to be some of the staff maybe listen to this and they'll be swearing at me. No, we're not doing it, Ross. We're not going to find out. And I'm probably in my head thinking,
the players would love to see it.
They would. But we shall see. Okay then. Pre-season roundup done. Now let's talk about the news roundup now. And of course, this summer, a big departure. Paige Peake has left and she's joined them down the road, Southampton. Of course, Southampton now a championship club. A fee is involved, Blue. History-making move. It is disappointing to see Paige leave, a key player, a player that you've known for a while. A lot of the players have known for a while. Who's been here, part of that history-making team originally, and then this last season as well. What's your thoughts on it? Disappointing to see a teammate leave, but fair play to Paige to be playing championship football next season.
Yeah, it's an interesting move. She's obviously gone to play championship football and completely respect that. We'll obviously miss her at the back, but as we said, we've got young players coming through and we've got plenty of strength in that department. So I think although she has left a hole, we can fill that, and I'm confident of that going into the season. So yeah, I've known Paige for a while. So it's almost strange that she didn't turn up at preseason. It was almost a strange feeling, but yeah, these things happen in football. This is football, and you just have to get on with it. And all of the girls, actually, it's been very smooth in transition. It hasn't really affected us at all, I don't think. We just had to sort of get our heads down and focus on what we do have and the season ahead. And best wishes to her, but we've got to move on. So yeah, she was a good player whilst she was here. Penalty taker. So this is interesting, Ross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who's going to do it? Who's going to step up?
And we have a lot of good penalty takers, I think.
Yeah, we found out when we beat Southampton on penalties in the FA Cup. So, and do you know what? I'm going for you, Blue. I think you could do it. You could do a few good penalties when you're back. You never know.
Maybe we've got a lot of good takers, so I'd have to compete. But we'll see. I think there'll be a few with their hands up asking to take them, but who knows? Who knows? Yeah, we're giveaways.
I'm going to be interested. I am going to be interested when we.
Who's your bet? Who's your bet, Ross?
Depends who's on the pitch, of course. Bonnie, maybe. Bonnie, she's leading by example. Mm-hmm. You want someone who's a good, hitter of the ball as well, who can fire home, cool head as well. I think it just depends on whoever wins it. Sometimes whoever wins the penalty, they may go, no, I'm having this. I've won the penalty. I'm taking it. But whoever feels, if it depends what the score is as well. If we're winning 4-0 or something, it's like, oh, okay, take it. Luce O'Brien, of course. She scored apparently last year. But as you said, there's loads. There's loads to choose from. We're not just relying on one person. No. We're relying on different other players to step up and take the penalties. So that's good. But going back to Paige quickly, I think it's just a massive thing for the club in terms with now receiving fees for our players. And that's why last year was so important in terms of professional contracts, because normally players could just go for free.
You've done
all that hard work of, developing these players, and then they go for free. But now we've got a fee, a very good fee as well for a player. From a tier 3, you don't see that. You don't see a tier 3 club selling players, and that just proves how good our academy and how good Joe and Charlie at A1's worked for developing these players. So that's just great to see, and I'm sure it's going to happen, frequently, because we've got so many great players, and I'm sure there's going to be loads of different clubs looking at our players, and fees now have to be involved because everyone's here. They know the vision. They want to be here. We want to grow this football club. But yeah, great to see. And let's talk about some other departures then, Blue. Sadly, these players have left on a free transfer. But Lindsay Cooper, long-serving, a club legend. At the club,
she is a club legend. She is. She really is. I think 210 appearances.
Do you know what?
Insane.
I have a feeling it's probably more than that, because me and Kieran started these stats when we first started, and I went on a full-time website. And if people don't know what the full-time website is, it's basically the FA website where they collect all the stats and the fixtures and stuff, which is a good source. And I think when I wanted to get the proper stats, like for Amanda and other players, I went on there and went through all their games. I'm sure there's missing games.
Yeah.
So she's probably made more, but yeah, to make over 200 plus appearances is just unreal.
Insane. Yeah, a true club legend. I know Amanda Crump's up there, but Lindsay's up there with her. So yeah, huge respect to Lindsay, and good luck to her, whatever club she joins or whether she's calling it quits. But yeah, great player, and huge respect on what she's done for the club and the work she's put in to get us to this point. I think we're all very, very lucky to be in this position, where when she was my age, she didn't have this opportunity. Yeah. So you look at the Academy's players now, they've got it so easy compared to what her and the likes of Amanda worked through. And the reason we are here is because they worked. So yeah, huge respect to those two, and best wishes for her in the future.
Yeah, you put that well said there, because yeah, she didn't have the opportunities you players have had now. Of course, women's football has grown. The Euros at the moment, to see those stadiums being full, some really good football played, some really good goals scored. But Lindsay, had to, proper, work. Of course, she's got her own kids as well. But one thing I will miss from Lindsay is just like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Or, stuff like that. But I always love watching Lindsay play, and just, she'd always be there to score a goal from a set piece as well, which is good. But we all wish Lindsay the best. I'm sure we always welcome her back. Hopefully she'll come down and watch some games as she's free, and she'll always be mentioned as a great player. Now, another player that is departed is Eva Hubbard, who was the original captain of this team when Amanda, of course, was having a second baby. And Eva has left after a couple of years. She was part of the under-21 setup when it first was formed. She was captain of that as well. She made a debut as a 16-year-old before this. Loads of these different players coming through to break through the academy, but she was sort of one of the originals. Of course, she played a few games last year. She scored her first goal finally for the club, somewhat. We're giving it to her.
Yeah, we'll give it to her.
Yeah, but Eva, another great character, another great person, but leaves just to basically go on to another challenge.
Yeah, and she came away with us on holiday, so I shared a room with her actually. Again, has moved this club forward in a different way Linz has. Sort of started in the academy when it first started up, and has really worked her way through and captained the academy team, and then went on to captain the first team as well. So a cornerstone in the progression we've seen over the past 3-4 years, a real cornerstone. So yeah, huge thanks to Eva for what she's done, if you are listening. And again, best wishes in the future. I know she's still working at the club, so I'm sure we'll see her around quite a bit. But yeah, really great person and got a smart head on her. So yeah, whatever she does next, whatever she decides, whatever works best in her life, I really hope goes well for her.
I'm sure. She's got a good head on her, and another player. I'm sure we'll keep in contact. And she still works at the club now with the foundation and everything. And I'm sure she's gonna, come to games when she can. I'm sure. So there you go. There's the departures then, Blue. Now, pre-season second game this Sunday, back at Felixstowe, back in the sunshine. Cambridge United are in town, another tier 4 side, a team that we know of as well. We've played before. But it's always a good challenge to sort of step up our challenge now. Of course, we've got our media day, little peek behind the curtain. We've got our media day, photo shoots and stuff. As a player, I'm sure it's one of those where you're like, oh, here we go. Got to take the picture and stuff, the photo shoot and stuff. But what do you like? Do you enjoy that?
I wouldn't say it's my favourite thing to do. I know some of the girls say they hate it, but I know they absolutely love it. They're just saying that. But there's a real range. Some people don't like it. Some people will say they like it. Some people are sort of in the middle. I'm probably in the middle, but getting more used to it as over the past however long I've been at Ipswich. There's been so much media exposure, which I didn't realise would happen. So you kind of get used to it in a sense, and care less about it. Whereas at the start I was so worried. But yeah, it'll be good fun. I'm sure Kieran will be forcing us to do good gifts, etc., etc. And you'll be there with a camera, and then followed by the preseason game against Cambridge United. So yeah, it'll be a good day. Again, more minutes in the tank for everyone, and at home. I always used to love playing against Cambridge United. I don't know why. I can't work out why, but I used to really, really like playing against them. So it should be a good day, I think.
Yeah, I think the last time we played them, sorry, any Cambridge United fans listening, or anybody who plays or managed Cambridge right now, I think the last time we played them, we beat them 10-0. But I think they've got a new manager, and I think they've probably got some new players as well. So it could be a very different Cambridge side. But I think it's a good test, because I know Joe said in his pre-season interview with Kieran that there's not many teams for us really to challenge in terms of like good standards. No respect to the local Suffolk teams, but you want to have a bit of a challenge. And I think Wimbledon were a good challenge. That's local-ish. I know it's London and Cambridge. It's another hour up the road. Of course, they're coming down for us. But there's not many other teams. There's some clubs have got everyone on the doorstep pretty much. They're division below or even division up. Of course, we're playing Cheltenham in pre-season, which is good. Mm-hmm. They're a championship club. They're coming down to Felixstowe. That'll be a good challenge. And I think that's it. And we've got Wolves, of course. Wolves, who, of course, played in the playoffs against Southampton. So that's going to be another good test. A team in our level, but in the northern section. But I think pre-season, you don't want to have too much of a challenge, but it's also good just to know where you are. Once again, it's all about minutes, but it's always good to have some competitive football as well.
Yeah, a range of maybe teams below you, but also above you to test different strategies, test different things. Whether that's attacking patterns, whether it's defensively. I think it's always good to have a real range. And I know our preseason last season was, out of our hands, was kind of discombobulated a bit. So it's nice to have a real sort of structured preseason this time and have a real range of teams, and a few away, a few home. So it should set us up really nicely. And I'm looking forward to that Charleston game, actually. It'll be a good test.
Yeah, it will be a good test. And I want to quickly mention media today. And I try my best not to be too demanding as a photographer. I always feel bad. I'm like, can you just stand here just a little bit? And I try my best to try to get it quick as possible so you can move and leave as quick as possible. But I'm sure there's more demanding photographers out there who really, there for ages. But I try my best to get it as soon as possible. I think last year you were the first person, so you were my first sort of model just to get my settings right. So I probably kept you there longer than normal because I was trying to get my settings right and stuff. But I'll try my best not to be as demanding. But it's always just a fun day getting those pictures, and I'm just looking forward to being back at Felixstowe after that as well, because it's gonna be a long day, but it's gonna be a very enjoyable day. Well, Blue, any other business before we wrap up for another Track the Girls Talk podcast?
I don't think so, Ross. It's been great to be back.
Has been. And once again, we've got to plug our sponsors, proud sponsors, John Fowler Solicitors, who are sponsoring us for the whole season. Mike Kennedy, who's a great supporter for the club. He does some great things for us. So thanks, Mike. I know he's listening. Hello, Michael. Hope you're doing really well. But Blue, over to you to outro as you do. Once again, it's good to be back. And take it away.
Thanks all for listening. First pod of the season. We'll call it the season. First pod of the season. Great to be back. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you haven't missed us too much. I know it's been hard, withdrawal symptoms. But yeah, we'll see you in the near future. And get down to the AGL Arena to watch us against Cambridge United on Sunday. Should be good. See you there. Thank you.